take the orders from the users and match them. And you can get crazy numbers, like maybe 1 million orders per second handled. Now, one of the problems is that if you have 1 million orders per second, then you have to sort those orders, because eventually the traders will want to access to an historical database of those orders. So this is, for example, one of the one of the things that most of the exchanges fail. So one thing is having a really fast matching engine. One thing is having an internal infrastructure and an internal set of services that are able to propagate, store, and deliver all these enormous amount of data to all the customers. Imagine that you have just, let's say, 10,000 orders per second. That means that if you have 10,000 customers, then you have to deliver an enormous amount of events to each one of these customers. So your infrastructure now has to send out 100 million events per second, maybe. So, or at least handle them internally. You deliver these events to the WebSockets, to REST APIs, and so on. So I think that this is one of the things that make me say that most of the exchanges are not ready for mass adoption. So that is, I believe, one of the key features that an exchange has to have, right? Focusing on infrastructure, focusing on data delivery, on the ability of scaling with any kind of load. So, of course, everyone is good at serving data and managing orders when the market is calm. But when, for example, at the 12th or 13th of March, when the market moves really, really fast, 50% downtrend, most of the exchanges really weren't able to cope with the user's demand, right? We were seeing really well-known exchanges that either went down or stopped trading or had spreads of $1,000. That means that the matching engine is not able to cope with the new incoming orders fast enough, right? So Bitfinex had a maximum spread, I believe, of $50 or between $10 and $50 at its peak. So, of course, that also means that when the users really require liquidity in the most important times, you are there. You are servicing your customers. So, of course, being a crypto exchange, that is the key aspect. Then, having solved this problem a long time ago and of course, we are keeping improving on that side. The second aspect of a crypto exchange is starting to provide better interface and access to crypto to its users. Because, of course, mass adoption is all about trying to educate new communities about the good things of crypto, trying to educate them of what they should do and what they should be afraid of. And at Bitfinex, we're trying to work a lot on the user experience. We are pretty proud of our end product that is recognized as a really well usable platform with a good looking interface, and is mainly built for professionals. So we started thinking and demanding, asking ourselves what we should be doing if the next 100 million people will enter in the crypto space. So we started building products that are designed to help them to understand our industry a bit better. We built a social network that is kind of similar to Twitter, but it's more oriented to news and interaction between traders. So is a sort of professional chat with the ability also of publishing news, reading news, commenting, and creating groups, discussion groups. And that is quite picking up. We have a few initiatives, and we believe that is a good way to make sure that users are focusing on and getting the news with the most quality, rather than reading confusing news across all different social medias. So sometimes, although Twitter is super fun to read, sometimes can be quite confusing. So then we understood that there are users that really want to sit down and enjoy a bit of passive return. So we borrow funds because it's going, say, short BTC, although no one should short BTC. Then you really borrow BTC from the peer-to-peer lending market. That means that we are not, as an exchange, providing the funding, but is actually someone else that is providing, another Bitfinex user that is providing funding and enjoying a nice interest at the end of the day. So this is passive. It's seen as a passive income, and it's really interesting for a lot of users. And I believe that is a driver for is a product that is quite common in traditional finance. So it would be it is important to offer for new people, because mass adoption is all about introducing or bringing tools that people expect, that people know from the traditional world, into crypto, so that they are familiar with them. They will find a familiar ecosystem when they enter. Still on the educational side, we added something that I really love, that is called paper trading. So sometimes people approach trading without really understanding how it works, and that can be a bit scary. So in order to solve this problem and make everyone a bit more educated in crypto, we created what is called paper trading. Quite common in traditional trading platforms. Is a way to trade with fake money. So we have test BTC and test USD, and you can create a sub account. You can get instant credit of these two currencies, and you can start trading. You can do futures, you can do margin trading, you can do spot trading. So the mobile application is another important aspect of this ecosystem of features that we have in Bitfinex, because of course the world is moving to mobile, and everyone wants to always to be connected, check their savings, their investments, and so on, right? So we are focusing on improving the mobile application. We are excited to also start working on some non-custodial features for the mobile application, because although we at Bitfinex we are a centralized exchange, we recognize that it's important to educate users to keep their to understand how private keys work and how they should keep them safe. So for us, that is still really a really key aspect. So the mobile application is getting all the features that are available on the web platform, plus is getting some additional features that hopefully will make the life of our users a bit easier, especially when they are on the go. So one other thing that is of course important when you have to deal with users of any type of users is liquidity, right? People want to have liquidity at any point in time. They want to have the deepest liquidity possible. And Bitfinex made this as made of this thing its mantra, right? Bitfinex is considered the most liquid exchange on the most important pairs. We are really happy to see hedge funds, big hedge funds, and really and whales using Bitfinex as their main platform. I think beginning of this year we onboarded one of the biggest funds in the crypto space that is called Fulgur Alpha, and alone, that alone has an asset under management of $250 million that is dedicated to dedicated mainly to trading on Bitfinex. So this shows how a platform that has to be ready for a new inflow of users. So these are things that are really important when a new inflow of users will arrive, because of course, if they will start all trading, they will need the best liquidity possible, and only having really big with customers with really big funds, you can achieve that. And again, just to touch base on the initial part of my argument, these type of customers, you will retain these type of customers only if you have the highest performance possible and the highest stability possible when the market moves. Because if you fail them when the market is crashing or there is a bull run and they cannot buy or sell, they cannot adjust their position, they cannot hedge their position, then they will become really annoyed, and eventually they will stop trading on your platform. So you see, we have a good history of stability in these key moments, and that is why we are getting trusted by such important counterparties. That the last aspect of onboarding the next 100 million customers is security. So for us, security is one of the top features. It's not the most important one. So since years we have overhauled the entire infrastructure. We moved to a dedicated data center because sometimes there are some unknowns when you are running your entire infrastructure, and especially hot wallets in the cloud. So we decided that we didn't want to take any risk. So we moved all our operations in a dedicated data center. We picked our servers, we picked our switches and firewalls and everything, right? And we have our own cages. That gives that alone already gives us a big bump in security. And then we started realizing that even if we, as Bitfinex have one of the highest security levels in this industry, some customers that are coming from traditional finance are not really used to have an exchange, a crypto exchange, doing the matching, so being the exchange, being the clearinghouse, and being the custodian. In traditional finance, these aspects are segregated. These three aspects are segregated one from the other, right? You have the trading venue, that is the exchange, you have the clearinghouse, and then you have the custodian. Then, so what we started working this year on is partnershiping with different external custody providers that would and create a clearing network with them. We onboarded Coin, Copper, FXCH, and a few others, and they are almost every one of these is already live. So this is another important step to bring also a lot of liquidity from traditional finance into the crypto ecosystem, and we are getting ready for that. I think that although it's Bitfinex, it was born in 2012, so is 8 years old, and even if it's 8 years might seem a long time, it's really, I think that we are just starting to see the growth of our industry. So I think that with this, I thank you very much, and I thank you very much for listening to me.